Aloha, Lahaina Lee here. So usually when I sit down to do this, I have every word written out and in front of me already. So today I may be going a little bit off script and I'm going to do something different because today I'm going to talk to you about something else I wrote. Because every month I do a Maui Recovery update. Mostly I just report, just the news, what happened for the last 30 days. And this month I needed to do something different. At the beginning of the month, we were not on Maui. Barb and I were up in Port Hardy in Canada, staying with some friends. And these friends, and a lot of you will know who they are, own 2 units at Ainanalu. And Ainanalu is where Barb and I used to live. It burned to the ground, all of it. Our home, our cars, their units, almost all of our belongings, our real estate office across the street, all of that was just gone. So there we were, 4 people, 3,000 miles from Lahaina, all sharing the same loss, the same place, the community. And somehow we were watching coverage of the blessing of the new railing on Front Street. Now, I want to be fair, and I think you'll hear in a second, I have every right not to be. But I think being fair and balanced and objective is really important, especially right now. I hadn't thought much about blessing the railing. I mean, that's something we do on Maui. New construction, a new office, a new project. It's what we do on Maui. It's a nice thing to do. So I was expecting maybe the kumu and some few folks gathered around, maybe an ole, good words said. That all sounds like what happens. What I saw was a big celebration of the momentous landmark on Front Street. And my first unfiltered thought, sitting in the living room 3 miles away, was, wait a minute. 3 years after the fire and all we got is this lousy sidewalk and a new railing? Immediately I thought, that's not fair. That was a sarcastic overreaction. And it's not fair to the people who've done all the work and get this finished. The real people built that. And it's a good railing. Those Milo trees will grow. But if you turn around and just look across the street and look up and down the street, you'll see that really not very much has changed since the fire, really since the Army Corps of Engineers hauled the debris away. Did I say 3 miles? I meant more like 3,000 miles. So what did I do? I did what I always do. I looked at the data and the details. And what happened is I ended up writing the longest thing I've ever published. It's on the blog, and we'll point that out to you at the end. And what I found over and over again was one thing, and it needs to be called out. We've gotten comfortable calling things open that aren't open, and calling things paid that aren't paid. I continually hear the harbor is open. It's not. A handful of boats are operating with restricted hours. Access in and out of the harbor is still very controlled. A lot of the areas fenced off, of course. We hear Front Street is open. It's not. We went down on Sunday to see what this new railing and sidewalk looked like. This is what we saw. So I was going to go down and shoot a picture of the railing and kind of the view out from the railing, but it's down there. And the county ran shuttle buses to that blessing because the block is closed to traffic. We hear the settlement money is flowing. It's not. The claims processor sent out the first batch of award notices on June 17th. But the notice is an offer. It's not a check. And they've said it's going to take about 6 months to work through the rest. That usually means 12 months based on what we've seen so far. And on July 2nd, the mayor said that more than 500 homes have been built in Lahaina. The Maui Recovery's dashboard 4 days later said 220 are completed. Now, you can get to 500 if you add the 315 homes that are under construction to the 220 that have been done. And that's likely where the math comes from. But a house under construction is not a house that's been built. A family can't live there. And the county keeps the dashboard, and part of the job is to keep those two things separate. And here's one that really kind of bugged me. In my June report, I told you Bill 88 had passed the county council and was waiting for the mayor's signature. Turns out that was wrong. It was already law. Bill 88 took effect on June 22nd as Ordinance 6008. I can't find a county news release announcing it. I can't find any coverage anywhere, not on Civil Beat, not on Maui Now, not in the Maui News. The clearest confirmation that I could find after a lot of digging and some help is one line buried inside the council's own text for the rezoning resolution. I'll read it. By Ordinance 6008, effective June 22nd, 2026, the council established the H3 and H4 hotel districts. That's it. That's how we found out. And look, I follow this every single day. I write about this every month, and I got it wrong in print. I'll say that again. I follow this stuff every day, and I write about it every month, and I still missed it. So what chance does an ordinary condo owner have? Because right now, condo boards on the Minatoya list are sitting down to decide whether they should spend $200,000 to $500,000 on rezoning studies. That's the number that an owner testified to on June 19th. And the clock on Bill 9 is still running. And that clock runs out in West Maui on January 1st, 2029 and January 1st, 2031 everywhere else. And there's still no eligibility list, no application, no checklist, no cost estimate, no timeline for getting that information. And people are having to make six-figure decisions without the information they need. Okay, one more thing and then I'll let you go. You can read it yourself. As of July 2nd, the county reported that 5 commercial permits have been issued for Lahaina Town. 5. Well, turns out I may have to retract that or correct it as well, because today I talked to somebody who actually has gone to the trouble to look up those permits and see what the status is. Yeah, realtors can do that. And what she found is they're in process, but none of those permits have actually been approved. So we'll see how that rolls out over the next few weeks. So that's what's in the report. It's long. It's about 7,000 words with every number sourced and every calculation shown, because I want you to be able to check me. There's a full timeline from August 8th, 2023 to, well, a few days ago. There's a section called Questions the Government Should Answer. There are 12 of them. And there's a section called What Success Should Look Like. And that's my cut, okay? Because it's easy to complain, but it's harder to say what done looks like. It's on the blog. The link is below. Go read it. Then tell me where I'm wrong, because I will publish a correction. I want to end where I started. I think that railing is probably really good. Really, it probably is. And in 20 years, when Lahaina is whole again and people are going to be able to walk that block, everything is going to be exactly right. The question is how long the walk takes and who's still going to be here to take it. Because almost 3 years ago, Lahaina lost far more than the buildings. We lost neighbors, businesses, traditions, the friendly faces, the familiar faces, our whole community and our way of life. And the measure of recovery is not how many permits get issued, how many meetings are held. It's not how many sidewalks get poured, however beautiful that railing is. The measure of recovery is whether the people who made Lahaina Lahaina are able to come home. Everything else is just planning and construction. From the greatest island on earth, this is Lahaina Lee saying, aloha, y'all. Tony Brown produced this podcast. The information provided in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as a recommendation to invest in real estate or any other financial asset. We are not financial planners, certified public accountants, or attorneys. You should consult with a qualified professional before making any financial, legal, or investment decisions. All investments carry risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results.